Bad Bunny has like a lot of music videos, and sometimes just listening to the music is just half of the experience, which is why I'm gonna watch every single Bad Bunny music video to try to have a better understanding of his music and culture. I already spent a week diving into his music. Some of the comments were just gracious as far as my Spanish pronunciation went. Some other people just informed me of things that I just didn't know, and some people were just thankful that I was willing to explore something that was different than what I was used to. And while I was browsing and replying to some, I saw this comment right here, which kind of sparked my interest in his music videos and any short films associated with his music. Because music videos, they just provide that visual side of things, which is kind of an obvious thing, but still. They also just provide more context to the song, what the artist is trying to convey. Even if the artist's culture is different than your own, you get a better understanding. I did this with BTS and Stray Kids, and it helped me learn more about the Korean culture. I mean, I even did this with Taylor Swift, watch all her videos to kind of understand her a little bit better. So the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna divide this into different sections, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, sorry if I missed a music video that you just wanted me to watch, but I just tried to get them all from his YouTube channel because there really wasn't any kind of source online that just told me what his music videos were. I only have a few rules for myself though. My first rule is I must watch each section in a different location. That way I'm just not sitting at a desk all day or the same location. Rule number 2, I gotta choose 3 favorites from each section and then choose 3 favorites overall at the end of this video. And then rule number 3 is that I can only watch each video once. And if you can't tell based off of that list, I'm not doing any videos that he's like a featured artist in, because your boy Benito's already got a lot of videos, and if I did that, this video would just be really long. And I'm already thankful that you're even watching this video in the first place. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. I feel like I should just like go ahead and talk about the Super Bowl because odds are, unless your algorithm was all janky or whatever, you couldn't have avoided all the reflections, all the breakdowns and everything on social media. So with that being said, I watched a bunch. I watched a breakdown, and if you think about it, compared to last year's Super Bowl with Kendrick, it was a story. It was good imagery talking about Black culture and politics. This year, it was talking about Puerto Rican culture, Latino culture as a whole, and it was just great. Everything from like the kids sleeping on the chairs, the public wedding, the Caribbean store, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but the one that's referred to in Nueva York, and the power lines, just a lot. It was a lot. I watched a bunch of breakdowns, and it was just beautiful. And I think people should just take more time to learn more about Puerto Rican culture and history and how it ties into America. But that's just me. Personally, I love the Super Bowl halftime show, and I think moving forward with Kendrick's and Bad Bunny's this year, I think that the next couple of halftime shows need to like keep progressing that bar, keep raising the bar as far as the storytelling behind the halftime show goes. So if the next one didn't do that, I feel like in a lot of people's mind, a lot of people's artistic mind, it would kind of just go down a little bit, if that makes sense. I'm about to go for a run though. So the interesting thing with this like first section of videos is that most of these songs, or most of these music videos rather, they're most likely not on, I don't even think they're on any of his actual studio albums. I think they're mostly singles or maybe even a collab. I really can't tell sometimes, but however, I do know the song No Te Hagas. If it's the same song that I'm thinking about, it's the one that's on my playlist, so there's that much. But like, I'm looking forward to looking at these videos because it's like early in his career. I would just say based off the albums, based off the things I've seen, he's a different person now. But I mean, you expect people to grow, right? 2 things to note real quick. Obviously, I'm not gonna have that cultural connection, that language connection or anything. I wish I did, because it would help me have a better understanding. Like a bajillion people right after the Super Bowl, they were like, oh, I need to get back on my Spanish game. But hopefully for a lot of people, including myself, it's not just this wave of hype and then like, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months down the road, you're like, okay, whatever. I just feel like I don't want this to be a trend for a lot of people. Second thing, most of these music videos, I have them grouped together based on like what I guess would be around the same time they came out. Some of these videos, they most likely will not be in order of when they were released. I just want to try to progress as his career progressed. So that's the way I'm ordering these videos. Is that an advantage or disadvantage when it comes to ranking? I have no idea, but that's how I did in my other videos, so that's what it's gonna be. So as you can see, as I was speeding through these videos via this time lapse, I had the lyrics pulled up beside the video as I watched it because there's just no way I remembered every single lyric of the song. So that was very beneficial actually. I ain't gonna lie, that took a lot longer than I thought it was gonna take, but nonetheless, I got through it. So here are my top 3 from this section. I'm gonna go with Tu no metes cabra, Champea, and then Amor Foda. All right, so I chose Tu no metes cabra because I heard that one before, and I thought compared to the videos before, it was just different. I feel like all the videos before, while they were good, these had more of a story as far as the visual part of it. The ones before, they were, you know, about the same thing, kind of. This video, Tu no metes cabra, had just a different vibe. It was, you could definitely tell it was a different director and all the stuff. The quality was even better in my opinion. Chambea, I learned his WWE affiliation. He's actually a professional wrestler. Ric Flair was in there, and I don't know, I just laughed that they were just vibing on the roof of this building. It did prompt me to look up more about Baby Rasta, whatever, and 50 Cent, because he said immortal like Baby Rasta and 50 Cent. So like, I know the 50 Cent part, but I need to know the Baby Rasta part. And then I chose Amor Foda because it was one shot. It was simple and sweet, and I felt like even if you didn't know the lyrics, like if you didn't have the translated lyrics, you could tell what the story was, and it was nice and sweet, even though it was like bittersweet at the same time. A couple other things to point out. I really liked when it went ora soy por ti. That was stuck in my head even while I was like going to the next videos. I knew the song No Te Hagas, and that's probably where I knew the name Mabo Kicks. And the last thing I'll say is when I was watching Me Mata, even though Bryant Myers was in a previous video, whenever he comes in, he always sounds like this evil villain. It's like everybody's all like talking like this, and then Bryant Myers like, hey, how you doing? All right, you know, you're talking real low, you know what I'm saying? But it's good, you know what I'm saying? It's good. So I thought going to a coffee shop would be a great idea, but then it was like packed and this green chair was my only option. So I found a spot in the corner, put my AirPods in. I was gonna record me watching the videos, but there was also like some little kids next to me. So out of respect, I chose not to record it. I had to give Quien Tu Eres number 1 with Caro, and then probably La Ocasión as number 3. First though, I'm gonna highlight a few things. In the video for Cayolita, I really liked the mirror shot because it was just different yet simple at the same time. The graphics in 200 miles per hour were like a good different. I don't know how else to explain it. And I would say the same applies for when El Alfa came in for La Ramona. Now La Ocasión was good because of that like mysterious, unreachable love type thing. But this was also when I actually learned that Benito and J Balvin were in a feud and that it was resolved. I didn't know that. Shout out to the comments for that. Carl to me was like the first step up in quality and direction as far as his music videos go. The overall theme and vibe was just different, and then the whole thing of having a female version of himself, and even how that model became to be the person in that video, I just thought that was cool. Then last but not least, Quien Tu Eres was really memorable due to the different vibe overall. And well, unfortunately, there's just always going to be people that don't want you in their area, if you get what I'm saying. But when the one and only Stone Cold Steve Austin came out, I was like, yo. Man, I tell you what, I don't know if I just don't pay attention to music videos in general, but like I just love how music videos are shot sometimes, in the direction or creative direction, I should say. Or it could just be Bad Bunny's videos. I don't know. But so far, I just like the different styles and everything. I also like watching it on the TV versus my laptop or other places. Out of these 3 though, I'm gonna have to go with Una Vez for number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna have to pick Yo Vista Así. And then number 3, Hablamos Mañana. With Una Vez, I felt like the astronaut vibe was just so different considering, you know, the lyrics and the meaning of the song. And then honestly, that same dude, that same kid, boy, whatever, I had to go look him up. Cause like, I didn't know, at this point I was just like, they gotta be connected, all the videos. So I'm probably watching these all out of order, and I apologize. This is one of those moments where I could just remind you to just let me know of things. Like I don't know all the things. So please inform me and let me know what I'm missing, how I'm supposed to watch him, whatever. With Yo Visto Así, I noticed that there was a bunch of celeb cameos. And then I also really liked this bullet time shot that he had at the beginning, whether it was AI or not, doesn't matter, still look cool. And just a whole vibe compared to other videos, you know, that kind of punk rock-ish type vibe. I thought about that when I heard the song for the first time. And so even with the music video matching, I thought it was kind of cool. And then we go to Hablamos Mañana. I felt like it fit the vibe of I do whatever I want. And then it like randomly switched to the video game thing. And I was just like, what's going on? It gave me like a Crazy Taxi, I don't know if y'all remember that video game, Nintendo 64 kind of vibes. It was cool though. It was different and it was cool. A couple other things I noticed. Obviously, I noticed Booker T. Did not expect Snoop Dogg. And then I can't remember which video was shot in Japan, but that one, it gave me Fast and the Furious vibes. And I just like the Japanese culture as well. So that was cool. And welcome to the back porch. It actually felt good today for the first time in a very long time. You know, North Carolina weather, if you know, you know. I just thought it'd be good to spend time outside watching the videos, and then I just was reminded of how dirty my laptop screen is and I need to clean it. But you know what? I still watched the videos and we got through them. I may be a little biased, but I like the video for Yonaguni, however you say it, because I'm currently trying to learn Japanese, and I guess I could say that I'm learning Spanish again. I don't know if that's a good idea to try to learn two languages at the same time, but that's what I'm doing. However, for number one in this section, I'm gonna go with Titi Me Pregunto because I like the way it was edited, and well, the song itself is just a vibe. Akko or Acho PR, one of those two. I just like that it was cool to see the behind the scenes and the process with other artists and the home style video. And then I had Neberita as number 3. To me, that one was just so different. It literally had me thinking, what in the 80s and 90s is going on right now? One other thing, Ojitos Lindos, I was watching that video and just, you know, taking it all in. And then I decided to scroll down to the comments and I saw this comment and I was just like, man, that's just sad. Wait, is that Spider-Man? This entire section was probably my favorite as a whole. Not that the others were bad or anything. I think I was just more in a like ready to learn kind of headspace. Basically, I learned some things. I liked how Batikana was all black and white. Like I just thought it was a good switch up in comparison to everything. La Mudanza had me glued from the beginning. Like I was just sucked in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and choose that one as number 1. And then Turista as number 2 because man, let me just say, my mom taught me at a young age that like when you go somewhere and you leave it how you found it, unless directed otherwise. So in this case, for an Airbnb, if it's clean when you get there, why not leave it clean? I don't know why people have this thing that just like trash places. It's one thing to do it in your local area, but it's another thing to do it like in a different country, in this case, Puerto Rico. It just doesn't make sense to me. You shouldn't do it at all, but that's just me. I'm sure I can just imagine that the tourist culture in that regard is probably just not the best for the local community there. Sure, it maybe brings money as far as the economy goes, but like I can imagine just how that is. Lastly, I got a tie with Nueva Yo and Ballet Inolvidable because of learning the different styles of salsa paired with the visual and the message of both videos. I think it just made it like that much better. It also just made me want to take some salsa dancing classes because your boy here doesn't know how to do any of that at all, and maybe I can convince my wife to like fully go in with taking the classes with me. It'll be out of both of our comfort zones because she is 100% not Latina at all. Other things I want to point out, El Club had a lot going on, and I'm sure I missed so much in that video, so please feel free to explain everything that I missed. Monaco, whatever you want to call it, it brought back Buzz Cut Bad Bunny. Just hadn't seen that in a while. And lastly, but definitely not least, Boquete, that was a sad video, man. Like I felt that one. All right, I know I said what I said about the whole location thing and make sure it's a different location, but I'm watching this on TV. It's the short film for DTMF, and then I'm also gonna watch the El Apagón because I realized that it's like 22 minutes long, and then I figured out that it was actually like a documentary as well. And so I just felt like I wanted to watch that on a bigger screen and kind of try to take it all in.
Siendo que el edificio tenía nuevo dueño y se tenía que ir en 30 días.
Puerto Rico! Puerto Rico is an absolute gold mine for real estate investing.
Oh my gosh, the tax advantages.
Why Puerto Rico is the best place for you to buy real estate in 2022.
Dang, to me, that's just sad, man. Like I know it happens in America throughout various communities. I mean, I've even seen it happen near my grandma's house, but it just, I don't know, to invest in an area and then like, you know, you make profit, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but like just displacing people and just kind of kicking them to the curb or kicking them to the streets, that's tough. The love of money and greed of money is just crazy, man. It's crazy. Like at least let those people stay and still, I don't know, and to find a way for them to stay and still be a part of the community, or you go and reinvest in that community or something. I don't know, maybe I'm too nice. And in my like Southern American bubble, like I remember when Hurricane Maria came through and they were talking about how it affected Puerto Rico, but I feel like at the time it wasn't like prioritized in, I guess, the media or just social media in my area or my algorithm, whatever. And another thing, the whole public beach access thing, like that's just messed up. Like I guess I should have got the hint when I watched the Weltita video. But man, if I know this is like one of those scenarios, but if I just had the money, I'd totally buy one of those properties and just reconnect that public beach access ordeal, because that's crazy too. how you gonna like take land and then, yeah, whatever. And on top of that, this video was posted like what, 3-4 years ago or something like that. So there's no telling what it's like now. You know, they may never see this video and that's totally fine with me, but I just want to personally say thank you to Benito and Bianca for educating me. And just in the off chance that somebody watches that video, I hope that people watch it based off of like curiosity, or they somehow came across it because of his Super Bowl halftime performance. Or if this video for some reason does well, I hope it prompts people to go then and watch that video. I know there's a lot of things, you know, people would say, you know, that's close to me in my area that I should help. I should help my community first, all that kind of stuff. But watching that kind of video, it just makes me feel like I need to try to help somehow, even if it's donating $1. I don't know, it's better than some people. It really was just a reminder that we live in a messed up world. I can't remember what music video it was, but he was burying that that box that he found or is getting in this short film at the start. This is also the same guy that was in I think it was Ballet in Old DW. And I'm assuming this, like, he represents Bad Bunny in the future, like an older person or just anybody. It could be anybody, you know what I'm saying? And I know it was acting and everything, but during the restaurant scene, as soon as he walked in, I said, man, look at this gentrified. Well, I don't know if that's a trigger word nowadays, but you know what I'm about to say. I was just like, girl, if you don't give this man his sandwich, put it on the house or something, like, come on. But in all seriousness, it's just sad when it seems like a place or an area or a country, even in this case, seems to be losing their culture as time goes on, as more people are moving in from different areas or just the next generation's coming along. Shoot, this thing's got me like wanting to visit Puerto Rico, not even for the tourist part. Like, I'm intrigued and I want to actually learn more. Because I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, you don't get taught this kind of stuff in school. I had to learn the history of Puerto Rico through most of these videos. So kudos to them. Before I release my top 3, I'm going to tell you that these are subject to change because honestly, there was just a lot of them that were just really good in my opinion. So if I had to choose right now, my top 3 would be La Mudanza, because I felt like I learned a lot with that one. Nueva Yol, because again, I learned a lot with that one, I feel like. And then I'm gonna say Si Veo a Tu Mama. There could be so many honorable mentions. That's the issue. Like Calladita was a good one. Forda, whatever that one is called, is a good one. There's just so many good ones. Quien Tu Eres. I mean, I could go on. I learned a lot. I'm not saying I learned everything, but I definitely knew more than I did by just watching the Super Bowl. And I already praised it enough, but that El Apagón was just amazing, mainly because I learned so much from it. And unfortunately, I know that people won't take time to learn more than what they already know. And because of that, they'll just be ignorant to what they don't know.
Sunday morning views quickly turns to afternoons. It's like that I can barely go and catch it, kinda how I feel with you.